Hello everybody, Dylan here. Now today we are going to be doing the thing that made manga common famous. We are going to be bullying MatPat. No, I'm just kidding, but you've already seen the title, so you know what we're going to be doing here. I'm going to be responding to one of MatPat's videos, and really the video isn't too bad, it's just something he tacked on at the end is really bad. So let's get into this today on DHT. Now, like I said in the intro, I didn't hate this video. I actually really did like this video. It was well researched. I'm glad that MatPat took in the calculations for every version of Sonic and every game that Sonic had been in, all the classic games, and he tested the skidding speeds of these Sonics to see if it would actually break his bones. All of the research was sound and all of the conclusions made sense to me. And the main conclusion is, in all of the games that MatPat calculated, Sonic wouldn't be able to break his bones. He's skidding at a certain speed to where no matter what, he would be safe. It's the part after the video that really bothers me. Let me just play the clip so you can see what's wrong here.
It just turns out in the games, whether the designers meant to or not, they made Sonic 1, light enough, 2, slow enough, and 3, gave him enough stopping distance to slow him down in a safe manner. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it looks like Sonic got me. Or did he? I measured his speed in a variety of 2D games using a variety of speed boosters. But what if Sonic is truly able to roll around at the speed of sound like his song indicates? It turns out that if you run the numbers, the stopping distance for Sonic is going to be about 69 meters, and the force of the stop would be 29,842 newtons. 30,000 newtons, which is more than enough to shatter most of the bones in Sonic's body. Huzzah! And yes, that's the sound of me celebrating a fictional hedgehog breaking every single bone in his body. Because here's the long story short. If Sonic truly lived up to his own hype, he'd be completely debilitated every time he tried to stop. So it's here, loyal theorists, that I leave you with a choice. Either Sonic destroys his body every time he fires up his top speeds, or we can just agree that Sonic is slow.
You heard that from MatPat himself. He straight up says that he took Sonic's speed if he was running at the speed of sound and then adjusted it for the current skid rate, meaning that he added a whole different variable into the video game's numbers. How can you do this, MatPat? How can you take Sonic running at the speed of sound and plug it into the adjustments in a game? Now, assuming that Sonic would be a living being like you do in these videos, because there'd be no way that he could run at the speed of sound and it be a video game, Sonic, if he was running at these speeds, he would actually adjust his speed so he wouldn't hurt himself. He's done it in every other game, so why wouldn't he do it now? It would take him longer to stop, but he definitely could adjust his speed to stop. We've seen him do this numerous amount of times in the comics. He'll slowly skid to a stop at a certain rate to where he won't harm himself. Sonic isn't out of control, and the games where he actually does run at the speed of sound, it is hard for him to control himself. In mock speed sections like in Sonic 06, you'll go flying about everywhere. But even when Sonic gets hit in mock speed sections in Sonic 06, his knees aren't buckling down. He turns his body in such a way to where it actually impacts his whole body. So yeah, he would still be bruised and injured, but he's still taking into consideration that his feet would get hurt if he suddenly stopped like that. Sonic is aware of the speeds he's running at. The game developers are aware of the speeds Sonic is running at. They have programmed him in such a way, and it seems like to me that this is just you trying to prove your old theory correct, that Sonic can't run faster than the speed of sound, and you've somehow taken that theory and mixed it with this actually good theory, and in return you've ruined this theory and brought up how shit your original theory was. In the game, Sonic will never run at the speed of sound because it's unplayable. It's not fun. That is your answer, MatPat, and the answer to can Sonic break his legs in the games? No, you already answered that question. You can't just take your theories and mash them together and try to get some outcome that you want to happen. This isn't some ultimatum you get to set up. At the end of the day, if Sonic was to run at the speed of sound, like he has done in the comic books, he would be able to slow himself down at such a rate to where he wouldn't tear his body apart. He's not dumb. He's been running at these speeds for years. I'm sure he would adjust it. I just didn't like that you took Sonic's skid rate from the video games and plugged it into some random fucking number. That makes no sense at all, and it seems like you were just trying to prove an unpopular theory correct. And now I know what some people will say. Some people will be like, Dylan, this was a joke. MatPat was joking. I'm just gonna say this. It wasn't a joke. MatPat is very sensitive about his theories.
First was Sans' Nest, a theory I was so excited to share with you. In fact, it was one of, if not my favorite episode that we had done of game theory to date, but the overwhelming negativity and ridicule that video got was just crushing.
And whenever he thinks he is right, he really wants to shove it in people's face.
Did you see the news? Nintendo confirmed that Mario is punching Yoshi in the head. According to character designer for Super Mario World, Shigefumi Hino, quote, "Lots of people think that while Mario is pointing his finger forward, he's saying go, and Yoshi's tongue comes out. However, the setup that I drew was that when Mario punches Yoshi in the head, the character's tongue shoots out in surprise. What's more, there's an added bop sound." End quote. Man, between this and Scott confirming last week's FNAF theory, these are good days to be a theorist.
This is the real MatPat. I don't hate him for this. I just think that his ego gets in the way sometimes, and he needs to be called out when his ego does get in the way. If you don't believe me, maybe later on down the line I'll make a MatPat is stupid, and I'll explain how MatPat has rejected criticism, mocked his critics, and how he continues to show childish behaviors when it comes to improving his videos and admitting that he's wrong. But for this video, I think I've summed up the reason why MatPat's ending to that video didn't make any sense. And I think that if you actually look at Sonic the Hedgehog and you look at how he's behaved throughout all forms of media, you'd see that MatPat is just bullshitting here. So I don't feel like I need to go further in depth about this. And that was yet again another game theory debunked Sonic theory, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. And if you want to see more content like this, then subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.